it's your boy iDef, and I'm back with another review for you guys. And oh boy, this time we got Guts, the Berserker armor. I've had him for a minute. I've just been kind of savoring him. You know what I'm saying. I'm pretty sure this is reissue. If it's not, that's gonna suck. But I'll just get some kikis for it or something. I don't know. We'll worry about that when we get into it. But the box is dope. It's a pretty tall box too. I'm not sure if it's just because they put stuff down here or what, but obviously we'll find out. But you got the sick ass pose on the side. Yeah, it's dope. And then, you know, kind of the classic SHF, except for it's a taller box, but it even shows you he has the brand of sacrifice on his neck and stuff. Oh, dude. Oh, you got that on top. That's pretty sick too. Oh yeah. Alright, let's go ahead and run through the old iDef system. Is the figure in good shape? Does the figure function as intended? Everything that's included with the figure, plus scaling, and then just my final thoughts. Usually a little pose at the end when I'm talking about it too, unless I forget. Alright, and here Guts is out of box, and I'll just say straight off, he does look really good. The paint's all good as far as I can tell. Is the figure in good shape? I thought this was a reissue version of this figure. I'm thinking maybe it's not actually, unfortunately, because his ankle joints seem a little loose. I was trying to, you know, check his splits. His right leg popped off. It went back on no problem, but now it's kind of loose. I'm not having good feelings on whether or not he's going to be able to even hold his sword. That being said, though, he does look good, and these are technically fixable issues, just I've never done it before, so I don't want to mess up my figure by using kikis, which, I don't know, I can just research online and figure out how that works, and if I want to try that, but overall, he is kind of a weirdly designed figure, but he's in good shape, I guess. We'll see. Getting him to stand was not the easiest, because of the aforementioned ankles. But he does look really good. So, does the figure function as intended? This is a separate piece. Getting this on was kind of difficult, and I feel like it will break very easily. Just putting that out there. Make sure it's all the way in. It's going to hinder your head articulation quite a bit. But you definitely can get those cool, like, he dips his head in poses. I'm just going to say, before we get, like, further into this figure, be very careful when you're articulating him. His neck's very tight for mine, at least. Oh. Yeah, I don't know if that's broken or not. I hope not, but it is now loose. I'll be right back. Alright, so it wasn't broken, it just kind of came loose. I'm already going to tell you, though, I'm not feeling so good about this figure. He's just got a lot of issues. This leg being loose already is a big one in my opinion. But with his design, you can only get his leg on that side about that far out. Honestly, in fact, that's about as far as you can get split. You can get farther, you know, going up and stuff, but yeah, it's just, he's kind of getting now hard to get to stand. Mostly because of that hip being loose, maybe slightly the right ankle, but I don't know. See if I can get him to look up anymore. Yeah, that's about how much he can look up. He does get a good down range, and he can look side to side, but only so far. Unless you tilt his head in, which, you know, still works. I apologize for the cards in the background. People were playing games. So, let's see if I can rotate that up. Like, he doesn't get a perfect T-pose, but it's not bad at all. Like, that's, I would say, the sweet spot of where you probably want him to be at. And he is, hold on. Oh, what was that? That's movable. I wonder why. But anyways, place. Sorry, I got carried away. They're not quite cross, but his hands touch. And then there's a bicep swivel. His elbows, or not elbows, but his shoulders will also hinge. But his bicep swivel is kind of stopped, but I think it's going to be enough to do stuff with. Also, if you hinge it out that way, his elbow articulation will get kind of messed with, but he's got a deep enough bend. And then he's got the average, ball joints. The pegs on his hands, though, were not great, in my opinion. They just don't really retain, they don't retain it very well, I guess. Ooh, a lot of crunchiness. Also, in case you're wondering, this arm does get slightly less articulation. I assume because of the metal arm. But it's not terrible. And then also, this hand actually gets really good articulation going that way. I would assume, actually, going both ways. I do want to test that on this just to show you guys. Oh, that's what I was talking about. You see the hinge in there? Or the little peg. It's just like a straight peg, which is not that awesome, to be fair. But, yeah, that, not a great peg system. Like, it hinges itself out the way it's designed to, but it gets a decent enough range. Messing with his torso is gonna sketch me out. So you got a lot of stuff going on with him. He can go pretty decently far back, though, I would say. And that's just kind of using everything, like trying to selectively use his joints on his upper body and stuff is kind of hard. But I want to say that's probably about as good as you're going to get with his forward. And it kind of pushes against you a little bit, so. He does get a nice tilt, though. He can twist. I would be careful. Oh, that just popped right off. But I would be careful. It does seem like it is designed well for that too, to do the twisting, to not mess with anything. Let's see if we can get this back on camera. It feels brittle, but when you just push it in there straight, kind of like how it's oriented, it does seem to just, work. But I don't know, something about this thing scares me. I feel like it's going to break easily. Sorry, back to articulation though. He doesn't have any sort of drop down, but he can kick out about that high, which not too bad. You can get him in some cool poses. I want to get that full berserker armor. I that figure I've heard is just crazy. But yeah, I don't want to pop this out. But you see that little bag? I'm gonna hold on to that. Oh, it popped off, but we didn't lose it this time. I mean, if you just want to take that off just to not be in the way, I wouldn't judge you. It will leave you with just kind of a random peg there, but man, it just sucks that that's even a thing, you know what I mean? As long as you don't lose it, though, it's not a big deal to put it back on. But it's a cumbersome design nonetheless. He does have a swivel. I guess I showed you guys a bend, but he does a really good bend. I'm almost, bro, It's not a bootleg, like the box is legit, but with all the QC on this dude, it almost feels like he's a bootleg, low-key. But see how loose that leg is now? I just like simply it popping off did that. Like, I don't get that, bro. That's so confusing to me. But yeah, was his foot coming off? It goes up super far, but it gets like no downward. Oh, his foot came off. Oh, his hand came off. Like, usually I'm an SHF glazer. Unfortunately, I'm one of my favorite characters from one of my favorite animes, like, and manga. They kind of didn't do their thing with this figure. I apologize for background noise. I'm still gonna have fun with him and try to get him in as good a poses as I can, but there's a lot going on with this figure and a lot of QC issues, so it takes a lot of the enjoyment out of it, but he's still cool. But I think we're gonna stop right here. Right, and I'm back, and I'm just gonna be honest with you guys. It's been a couple days since I made that last video, because this has been pretty disappointing, to be honest. Again, I will say he looks awesome, just I'm pretty sure this is not the reissue version of this figure, bro. It is what it is. I kind of paid a lot for him, but again, it is what it is. But let's get into his accessories. So he comes with this little cape, which is kind of weird, like fabric. I don't know what this is. It's kind of thick, but it's wired. It's got, I don't know if you can see that, but it's got like 4 different metal wires that go down the cape, and then like kind of a bendy wire that goes across there. I'm not going to put that on camera because that'll go horribly. But I'll put it on when I start doing scaling, actually, like before then. But for the one thing you're probably most wanting to see, the Dragon Slayer, it's actually got a little metal, like chain link or whatever that's supposed to be on there. And then, that's kind of tight. That comes out so you can put this in his hand. It's ridiculously tight, to be honest. Oh. Might have been tight that time because I put it in wrong. Oof. Anyways, for as big as it is, it's relatively light. And then he comes with 2 other face sculpts. He's got just kind of his yelling, like super pissed off. That's the face that was on there. And then kind of a grit teeth, like pissed off face. No smiling face, because why would Guts ever be happy? That's not really, it's not gonna happen. Let's just be real. I'll show you the other hand first. Actually, so there's this right here too. I haven't actually plugged it in there, but you can kind of see there's like a little step, and it should just plug in there. Yeah, it just plugs in there. Works fine. That was my first time putting it in there, no issue. And then for hands though, he's gonna come with that for holding your, your big ass sword, the Dragon Slayer. I believe that is definitely gonna be his other hand for holding the Dragon Slayer. And then there's not one for the, like that hand, but he has a fisted hand for his left hand. I kind of wish there was one for that hand, but so I'll show you. Hold on. So instead of coming all together, you have to take this hand off. Like, I'm sure you could get this off hypothetically, but trying to get this hand back off without breaking this would be really hard. It is kind of a softer plastic, so like there's probably a way you can do it, but I'm probably never going to take this hand back off. But this would probably make a good fist hand. Turn my light a little bit. But yeah, I already put this together. You know, I'll see if I can do that, because this figure is already kind of a mess anyway, so if I break something else, it's not that big of a deal. Alright, so luckily, also this comes up, just so you know. I don't know much what for, but this little peg right here let the hand come off pretty easily, so you could use this as like your punching hand for that hand if you want to do that, but sorry about that. And then he's also going to come, it hinges, but just like that, but it's his cannon hand, which it looks like there could be an effect that could go for it. I don't know what that would be, but I also just want to further say I have not tried switching out this arm yet, so I don't know how easy or hard that is, but I'll find out. And then the very last accessory, he comes with this little behelit. See all the little details on it. He doesn't necessarily have a hand that would hold it, I don't think, though. I'm kind of doing this off screen, but like, you could maybe make it fit in this hand, but I don't know. Actually, no. So that's the hand that is made for holding the Dragon Slayer with the other hand. So honestly, I don't know if there's a hand that'll hold it. Because this one, it has softer plastic and the hand is meant to kind of open. I don't think it would be good to put something that big in there, so there's not really a way he can hold it, I don't think, except with like maybe one of his open hands, which I guess you could do that, I don't know. But let's go ahead and do some scaling on him. Right, and here he is with Chill Spider-Man, and I gotta say, getting the cape on was a little bit difficult. It's on there, it's wired, but it doesn't hold. I'm sure in going back positions it'll hold better, but for what I was trying to do to kind of get it to cover him, it's a little bit, it doesn't want to work with you. But here he is with animated series Spider-Man from the retro carpet. Alright, and here he is with Roronoa Zoro from Raidon Onigashima. If you guys watched a review of this dude, you know I was really disappointed with him, but this Guts figure takes the cake. He's just so bad. Like, there's like trying to list off like a small just list of things that are good about him would be so easy compared to like just going over everything about him that sucks. And it's all fixable, so I'm assuming this cannot be the reissue, but trying to get the sword holding hand on there was really hard on the peg. Like, it just wasn't, I don't think it was molded correctly. And also because of that, and because the wrist joint isn't that strong overall, even just trying to get him to do this was kind of a hassle, to be honest. But I just wanted to show you guys that with their swords, because it would be cool to see him fight, in my opinion. He is with the Mofex, the Dark Knight Rises. Not really in scale, I just thought it'd be cool because they both have wired capes, but both kind of got the pissed off broody look, you know what I mean? And because he felt like a good little monster comparison, here he is with the MCU man thing, because why not? I feel like this would be a good two to pair up and fight if you don't have any, you know, sort of berserk demons or whatever, but yeah. But yeah, overall, I'm not gonna lie, for the price I paid for him, for the amount of QC issues he has and just all that, like, he's probably one of my least favorite figures. He still looks really cool, and I'm very surprised I was able to get him to hold this stance, but doing other crazier stuff, I'm gonna have to use stands. Like, even for some vanilla stuff, I feel like I'd almost have to use a stand just because of how loose his right leg is, but he still looks pretty cool. I'm almost tempted to buy another one, but like, I want to make sure it's a reissue if I get one, because if I got another one like this, like, I don't even know, dog. So yeah, I can't necessarily recommend him. If it's a reissue, maybe check it out, but yeah, I'm pretty sure this is not a reissue. I would not, don't get this one, honestly. I'm gonna see if I can maybe use some like keys on the joints and maybe tighten him up and make him a better figure, but there's just so many bad engineering decisions with this figure, like how they do the pegs. Yeah, a lot of this stuff, this should have just been sculpted in or done in a better way with maybe softer plastic that moves instead of the way it works, but all I can say is he does look really cool though, but yeah, hopefully I'll still have some fun with him though. But I think that'll be it. I hope this has been informative and helps you decide whether or not you want to pick this figure up. But yeah, I think that'll be it.